good, y'all? It's man. Today we're back again with another video. Don't need these earbuds in my ear. Look, man, for my wrestling fans out there, this video is tailor-made for you, bruvs. I'm not even gonna waste no fucking time, nigga. We got the return of AJ Lee in that bit, man. Come on, bro. First ever wrestling crush for me. I know it's probably that for many others, but first wrestling crush for me. Made me think crazy chicks, like Michael Cole, funny enough, even said it. Made you think crazy chicks or feel crazy chicks are cool. You know what I'm saying? So that is exactly what it was for me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yes, she has returned to WWE Smackdown, and funny enough, it's been freaking 10 goddamn long years since we've seen her, man. No offense to the other divas like the Bellas and everybody like that. But that is the only person from the Divas era that I actually wanted to see come back. My bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Woo! I grew up on the Divas. I grew up on the Diva wrestlers, but if I'm honestly 100%, this is the only Diva I actually was like, bro, got to come back. Bro, I remember when she was doing a love triangle with her, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk. I remember when she was freaking... I remember John Cena. Bro, John Cena, you know, childhood hero and childhood GOAT. I remember thinking how cool he was when he got AJ Lee eventually. Like, bro, I remember the days, man. Her in the group with Big E Langston at the time. Not Big E, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Hopefully he continues his recovery. But Big E and Dolph Ziggler. Like, bro, I just remember a lot of different stories. Yeah, she was the general manager. Like, I just remember all types of... I swear, bro. Bro. Are we back? Hey. Bro. I'm over here moving around. And I ain't even gonna edit that, bro. Y'all gotta see the process of me muting my mic from waving my arms around. Anyway, damn. I forgot what the fuck I was saying. But I remember when AJ Lee was on all types of storylines. Like I said, Mike Cole even said it. She low-key made crazy chicks cool and crazy chicks attractive, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, she looked freaking stunning, bro. Like, she ain't look like she aged not a single bit, bro. Looks fantastic as usual, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Punk. No wonder you've been gone for 10 years, bro. If I had that to come home to, I probably wouldn't come back either. But, yeah, bro, she got there, and guess what she started doing, bro? She gave us, you know what I'm saying, like I said, me growing up on her and shit in that kind of 2011-12 era. That was my era. You know what I'm saying? The Daniel Bryans, the CM Punks, the John Cena's, the AJ Lees, and all that. Man, you know what she came back doing, man? She came back doing one of these right here, man. She came back hitting it. Hey. She was skipping. Hey, bro. My thing is this. Her skipping, which is what she always did to the ring when she was wrestling like that. Her skipping is like Stone Cold talking shit on the way to the ring and bobbling his head left and right. If she doing that, bro, that means somebody's ass is getting whooped, bro. Or she gonna get whatever she want when she get down there. That's what her skipping is, bro. You know, Stone Cold, man, he come in there and he be saying when he be talking and looking like this, he's talking and walking. That mean, you know, somebody's about to get a can of whoop ass opened on them in the ring. When AJ Lee starts skipping, bro, somebody getting their ass fucked up, man. But so she did that, and boy, I tell you, whoo. She got in the ring stunning, in great shape, looks fantastic. No wonder why Punk was gone for so long. I mean, if that was what I was coming on to, I probably wouldn't come back either. And bro, Becky tried to attack her, bro, and freaking AJ, man, she did that double leg takedown. She did that to a different degree, bro. It looked like a freaking Hall of Fame NFL football tackle the way she just raised her up, bro. Becky was gone, bro. Picked her up, raised her up, and she fell, bro. And, you know, AJ gets the punch, and she gets the beating her bitch ass up over and over and over and over. And then she hit one of these, licked the hand, and she gave her the fire Right, and she did full arm extend too. It wasn't like one of those like slap like this. It was one of the like arm like hand back here on some power slap shit. Hand back here and wow, like full arm extension, bro. All that shit, and fucking Seth was in there like, damn, bro. I didn't know she was coming back. And by the way, a crowd fucking erupted, bro. Like, I was at work in the car. I was in my car. I had just finished work, but I I couldn't leave yet. So I just stayed in my car. And I marked out half, right? Because I knew it was coming. But boy, to give you a reenactment of the reaction, bro, the crowd was chanting AJ Lee. They was in Chicago. Chicago was freaking sold out or whatever, close to that as usual. You know what I'm saying? First, they erupted for CM Punk when he came back 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And now, same for AJ Lee, bro. They were chanting that the whole night because they already knew when Becky started slapping Punk around like she did on Monday, started slapping him around, pushing him because she knew that he wasn't going to do nothing. He ain't going to hit a female or whatever. And Punk said, hey, I ain't want to have to do it. He got out the ring, did Punk, and Becky's, taunting him, saying all of Chicago sucks, CM Punk sucks, and she's making fun of him. And earlier, Seth came out, and he was goddamn poking fun at it, too. And he was like, Punk was like, I ain't even want to do this for real. But I'm thinking at the same time, you did. But, you know what I'm saying? He like, I got somebody to handle you. I ain't have to do it. And, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to do it. I could have got my sister. I could have got Bailey. I could have got Rhea Ripley. Like, I got friends that can handle your ass, basically, is what he was saying beforehand. But he like, nah, we going to get this one in here to got done do the job. And who better than his own wife, man? AJ Lee, the only female from the Divas era I actually, wanted to see come back to wrestling when I got back into wrestling. That was the only female from that era that I actually, wanted to see come back. Everybody else was like, all right, that's cool. This is the one I actually wanted, bro. My first wrestling crush, bro. Got me into Crazy Chick. She was in great storylines and stuff like that. Like, bro, killing the game. So hopefully she does that with these new crop of female talent, because they actually showed on Twitter, Twitter, follow DJ Project on all the platforms. She actually said that, or Triple H showed a little recording or whatever her got done signing that contract, man. So I think they're more than just this one-off mixed tag match that we feel that we are gonna see. Even though it's not official yet, between CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I mean, that's talk about a power couple, man. There you go. CM Punk and AJ Lee, and then versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I mean, both all top individuals. Like Seth for his in the men's division and all of WWE, same with Punk, and then for the women, it's the same thing with AJ, same thing with Becky. They all are top individuals, and they're a legitimate couple. So that's what makes this so much better and draws more money, because there's realism in it as far as, the hatred is there. There has realism to that. And then there's also this, then they're also a legitimate couple. It's not like they're working this. They're all top individuals that are both legitimate couples. Like Seth and Becky are really together in real life, married and all that. Same with Punk and AJ. So this is going to be great at WrestlePalooza. You know what I'm saying? They stacking it up for the first ESPN streamed PLE. They stacking it up because they just made what I'm getting into now, and that is John Cena and Brock Lesnar official for WrestlePalooza, man. So they stacking it up for the first of a PLE on ESPN, because earlier in the night, Cena was basically talking about how it's apropos, basically, because, he had that ruthless aggression, promo where he said ruthless aggression to Kurt Angle and slapped him across his mug, funny enough, in that building. And he debuted on Smackdown in that building. And now he's on Smackdown in that building in Chicago. And it's going to be most likely I think they said it's going to be his last Smackdown. It's his last Smackdown in Chicago, but then I think they also said it was in general going to be his last Smackdown. So if it is, man, crazy ride, man. But it didn't end there. He was going down reminiscing about some of the moments that happened there. Punk cashing in, but Punk beating him for the WWE Championship, Money in the Bank 2011. Great, beautiful moment there that happened. And, put the title in his refrigerator after he hightailed it up out of there with the title after he beat John Cena. So basically he was talking about how this Chicagoans are always real. They keep it real. They've been giving him a rough time over the years. He's usually gotten booed in Chicago because those are the real wrestling fans who give it to you straight on how they really feel. And so it's kind of, jarring to see him get cheered there now, you know what I'm saying, after all these years. But he was talking about the good old days and how he knows this is his last time here, so he's going to take it all in, which is why this promo segment took a while. Not in a bad way, but in general, he going in and, giving the fans their props and stuff like he usually does. Sami Zayn comes out there, and he got an initial little cheer, but then after he settled and got in the ring, he was getting booed because I guess they thought he was going to do something mean to Cena. And John Cena even improvised like, hey, I'm for the boos. It's cool for me, basically. And Sammy's like, another great apropos type moment is 10 years ago, you challenged, you had a U.S. Open challenge, and I was one of the people basically that, fought you in that U.S. Open challenge. That happened 10 years ago. Now, 10 years later, I'm the United States champion, and I want to, basically have your blessing to do the open challenge like how you did. And then John Cena was like, yo, a working champion, like I can respect that. You got my, approval, basically, his blessing and whatnot to do a U.S. Open challenge like how he did back, 10 years ago. And he said, no, it ain't just in the U.S. Open challenge. I'm talking about a match against you, and I'm talking about tonight, right now. And Cena like, oh, bet, let's do the goddamn thing. He didn't say that, but you know what I'm saying? Let's do it. And they had a good wrestling match, good wrestling TV match. This almost took up the whole first hour. Pretty much the first hour of the show was literally John Cena, and then John Cena versus Sami Zayn. And then as they were having a good match, and Cena even went down the nostalgia road like how he did at Clash in Paris, where he pulled out some of his old rivals' his finishing moves. He did the edge thing where he, pulled the hair back and set up for the spear. He had a spear that didn't look the crispiest, but it still looked better than Jey Uso's. Then he hit the GTS. He's in Chicago, CM Punk, one of his infamous rivals, and he was, obviously, like I said, there tonight. Boom, hit the GTS on him, and it didn't get the job done. He hit two AAs on him. It didn't get the job done. Then I think it was Sami Zayn hit a haluva kick on him. It didn't get the job done. And then I think the match ended with John Cena hitting an AA off the top rope, but he couldn't get into the cover because they were both, beaten up, laid out. And also he did an ankle lock, Kurt Angle, infamous rival of his. He did an ankle lock, on Sami Zayn. But anyway, because, ruthless aggression there, blah, 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 you get the history. Then, the guitar riff played Brock Lesnar. And he always got done look like a freaking monster. He came down to the ring. Pulled the referee out the ring. So the match is thrown out, obviously, which I figured was going to happen. Boom, pulls him out. F5 Sami Zayn, just because I guess he collateral damage. Why the fuck not? He was in the ring. Brock figured he beat him up too. Then F5 Cena not once but twice before he left. And when we came back from commercial, he was backstage in the camera saying, John Cena, me versus you at WrestlePalooza. See you there, bitch. And then he got out of there. So we got no explanation like how it was when, funny enough, when Brock had his last rival, before the whole allegations and stuff was coming out about his situation. The last rival we had of his was Cody, you know what I'm saying? And that didn't have an explanation, funny enough. So he faced Cody. The last match he had was against Cody at SummerSlam 2023. And that rivalry and feud had good matches, but it was never explained why he attacked Cody on that night after WrestleMania in 2023. And so, he's going to be there next week, but unless he explains it next week, it seems like we're going to get the same thing here. Like, Brock is just there to add to the adversity. He never actually gives a reason and story why he's beating these people up. But anyway, obviously we know Cena, iconic rival, is Brock Lesnar. I guess he's going to finally beat him, Will Cena, as definitely Super Cena did die on that night of Suplex City, man. It wasn't a good day for guys like me who, even though I wasn't watching at the time, when I found out about it, I was like, damn, bro, I couldn't have been a kid at the time still watching this. I would have been broken. But anyway, overall, fun SmackDown, man. Give it about almost an 8 out of 10, man. Even though the other stuff in between, though, the beginning and because the beginning of the show lasted pretty much the first hour, anything you didn't care about didn't last that long. Because it was literally like 20 minutes of the last segment between Seth, Becky, AJ Lee, Return, and Punk. And then there was like a whole hour of John Cena, Sami Zayn, Brock getting involved. Like that whole, basically the whole hour and 20 minutes of this show was all just good stuff, or what stuff you cared about. All the other stuff was, not really all as important. But nonetheless, fun show. It finally, brought some life back to SmackDown that hopefully they're able to sustain because they need some goddamn life. But anyway, y'all let me know how y'all felt about AJ Lee Return. I've been wanting to see it. 10 years in the making, man. Punk took almost 10 years to come back to WWE, and they both returned in the same building. I think it's the same building, right? Allstate Arena. I think they returned in the same building, funny enough. So they're a, married couple, returned in the same building, returned the same amount of time too, right? Both were gone for 10 years. So it's crazy how all this work, man. They're going to show you WWE really is in a new era and a new regime, man. We got AJ Lee and CM Punk back in this thing, man. Hey, man, time can heal the wounds, fam. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all let me know what you thought about it down below. And at the end of the day, when I say this is what's going to be this project, continue to come out with the content that vengeance the bangers over and over again for you guys, doing my thing, doing it well, doing it to the best of my ability. And I shall see y'all in the next video, man. That is the vibe that DJ's on. We're going to keep putting the work around time and never do what we need to do to get ready to beat the top of the mountain. And we continue to run the gauntlet and do the damn thing, man. See y'all in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe before you go. See you in the next video.